And so these uglies and smugglies and Don Long, fugglier than fugglies, they would tell Richard Nixon what to do. And he would go, I don't want to do that. I think killing people is wrong. That's in the ding dong, not in the King Kong. That's in the one and only wrong, in the brain, in the drain, that refrains from the one and only heart. And so I'm going to look like the worst president in the history of the United States of class. Or is it the United States of ass? And you're driving me crazy. I need to smoke some grass. And so, my dears and undears and clairs and unclairs, do you have a chocolate eclair here? What's a chocolate eclair? Is that some chocolate named Claire? Have you ever met a chocolate bar named Claire before? No, but I met a chocolate bar named Peter Paul. Peter Paul, I'm in joy. I wonder if that gave Peter Paul a lot of joy. Well, if he made money from that, and my real name was Peter Paul. That's my name, Peter Paul. Peter Goodman Paul, that Jew name in the middle, Goodman. And so I changed it to Peter John Paul. It was my choice, either Peter Pope Paul or Peter John Paul. What's better letter for letter? Peter John Paul or Peter Pope Paul?
Peter Pope Paul.
Peter Pope Paul, what do you say?
Peter Pope Paul.
Peter Pope Paul? So maybe I should have made it Peter Pope Paul.
What about John Paul Peter?
I can't because my real name is Peter. And so that would have been too many changes. So I made it Peter John Paul.
Oh, okay.
But the light calls me Sweeter Peter Palpin. Just the skin that he jumps into. Or in tin. Or is it Rin Tin Tin? Or is it Yo Rinny? Or is this a Stinny? What's a Stinny? What's a Skinny? What's a Slimmy? What's a Slim Jim? Is anybody grim? How many people really win? Have you ever been to Los Angeles and Unholywood? How about New York City, shitty, pity, and non-witty? Have you ever been there before with Woody Harrelson? Who's Woody Harrelson? Is he hilarious? Is he hilarious? Does he have a lariat? What's a lariat? Have you ever met anyone named what? Harriet. Have you ever met anyone named Harriet? Would Harriet carry a lariat? That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? We should do a show called Harriet Who Carries the Lariat. What's a lariat? Has anybody ever heard of a lariat before? Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me what a lariat is? Excuse me, I'd like to take a bite out of my pizza. And if you talk about pizza, do you repizza about pizza? In other words, when you talk about pizza, do you pizza about your pizza? Or do you just repeat about pizza? I would say it's better to repizza about pizza than repeat about pizza. What do you think?
I agree.
Hey, this pizza's good.
Hey, put some sugar in my coffee.
Put some sugar in your bowl. Put some sugar in the hole. Put some sugar in the scroll. Put some sugar in the spadole. Does anybody know what a spadole is? Have you ever heard of a spadole before? Or a sparole? What's a sparole? Does anybody know what a sparole is? Well, how about a troll? You know what a troll is? How about a crow? How about a crawler? Does anybody really have a mother? What about Mother Earth? Would the love, the light, the love, the bright, and the one and only way come here to give Mother Earth a new birth and rebirth by scaring the light into the uglies, the smugglies, and the down wrong, fugglier than any fugglies? Wouldn't that be a good idea? Here at the pizzeria. This is Ronzio's Pizzeria that doesn't give you diarrhea. I can guarantee you that. Now that would be a good commercial, and that's just the dress rehearsal. And anyway, I'm going to do a role reversal. What's a role reversal?
Change of role.
And so I'm going to change from a hot dog roll to a bagel. Would that be a type of role reversal? Yes or no?
So role reversal would be you changing.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, here are Ronzio's. They sell candy too for $1. And you got your M&Ms. Hey, Bobby, look at these fucking M&Ms. 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 Them's are good. Them's M&Ms are good. Does anybody have a girlfriend named Emmy? Who's Emmy? She loves M&Ms. Emmy. And look, we got skedaddles. We gotta skedaddle out of here. When we skedaddle and skedaddle, these guys are gonna rattle about us. They're gonna say that guy was fucking nuts. What a putz. What a schmutz. But he did have a few cuts. Well, I couldn't really see in that half shirt. What's the difference between a half a shirt and a whole shirt? I wonder if a half a shirt costs a $50 less than a whole shirt. Or maybe it's a whole half price less than a half shirt. So what I do is go into stores and I cut half the shirt off, and then they put it down to 50%. So I have to 50% less of the rent. And look, here's a Three Musketeers. And when I ate this, I never got any tears. But I'd like to have a beer. I hate beer. To me, beer tastes exactly the way it looks, like piss. But I never drank my piss before, but if I imagine what piss would taste like, I would think it tastes like beer. Let me make that more than perfectly clear. But that's just me. And well, who am I? Who am I? Sweetie Petey Pie. And here we got some Twix. Twix are for kids, not for rabbits. Oh, that's Trix. So what about Twix? Are Twix for kids or for rabbits? And I wonder if this is a good habit. And I wonder if Charlie Babbitt would like this. Who's Charlie Babbitt? Is there a guy really named Charlie Babbitt? And look, here's a Hershey Highway. What's a Hershey Highway? Is there really such thing as a Hershey Highway? If you go to Pennsylvania and you go to Hershey, is there a highway there named the Hershey Highway? I don't know. What's the my way? Did Frank Sinatra really have it his way? Or did he have it any other way? Or did he have it any way he wanted it because he had so much pay? I don't know. That's another thing we have to think about in the one and only drink, and the one and only Colonel Klink. Who is Colonel Klink? I wonder if people think I need a shrink. And look, the 100 grand bar. 100 grand. What's 100 grand? Is that the same thing as a $100,000 bar? Did they make it up to a grand? What's 100 grand? What's more, 100 grand or 100 clans? What's a clan? What's a clam? What's a skim? What's a scam? What's a shim? What's a sham? What's a shimmy? What's a shammy? What's a bimmy? What's a bammy? Have you ever been to Bimini before? What's Bimini? Who's Kimini? What's kimchi? Do you sell kimchi here? Is that a Korean dish? I wish. What do you wish for? If you could have only one wish, what would you wish for? Would you wish for a starburst? What's a burst of star? What's a star of burst? Is there a star bursting on the scene? Is there the one and only king of all kings, ring-a-ding-ding? Is he the one and only star burst? Or is he a curse? And what's a curse? A curse is if you're not 95% in the one and only smart and the one and only heart. In other words, you come here for it's called your 111 Europe best test. And your goal is to be 95% in the one and only smart, the one and only heart. And if you miss it by even 1 percentage point, then you fail your 111th Europe best test. And you're nailed and you go to jail. But jail is a meta 11 sent from heaven for what's called India, for not being India heart. And it's a bad, mad, sad part of the spirit world with little food, clothing, and shelter and a hell of a lot of helter-skelter. So if you miss your miracle mark of 95% or greater in the one and only smart, the heart, even by 1%, you fail. Because your next lifetime, you come back here after spending 111 mandatory years up in the beautiful, not beautiful part of the spirit world. But if you miss your miracle mark by 1%, that means you have to spend 1 year in the bad, mad, sad part of the spirit world called India for not being India hard enough. And then you go into the good part for your remainder 110 years up there. But then you come back down here with an uglier waste face every other place in space, a worse way to make money, and not a good honey in your life. So in other words, if you don't want strife, you got to pass your 111 Europe best test. And so Michael Jordan, he's in his 11th lifetime. And so that's why he shines. He's got a beautiful face, a beautiful waist, and every other space and place. And he makes millions and millions of dollars. And he could have any fucking flower he wants. That's why he's getting divorced. Would you agree or disagree? And so anyway, Tiger Woods, he's in his 11th lifetime. And Naomi Campbell, have you ever seen anyone more beautiful, not beautiful than that Kiss of Bliss? Ever. Well, that's my taste. In other words, I don't like those Playboy girls with the huge bubble, fake tits, and flat ass, and bleached blonde hair. I like the black crack. In other words, I like Naomi Campbell. To me, she's not a gamble.